All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I thought I'd start 2 minutes early. My name is Chris. This is my channel, We Love Comics, and I have a couple of CGC unboxings I want to do for you guys. And then something strange I will introduce right afterwards. So, one of the things I always want to mention is, please, while I'm waiting for people to come in, check out the cashback program. If you sign up, it's free to do. There's a link in the description and in the live chat. If you click on that and sign up, which is free to do, and you spend $20, within the first 90 days, you'll get a $20 cashback bonus. If you are one of the people about a month or two ago signed up when it was the $40 cashback bonus, if you signed up and you did not spend the $40, you still have up until 90 days after you signed up, and you'll still get that $40 bonus, so don't lose out on that because time's running out. And then let me put on the video camera so you could see, and I see people are starting to come in because I said I was going to do it at 12:10, so I started a minute and a half early. I'm sure you will forgive me for that. Let me just let the cat out because he wants to go out. There we go. Alright, so let's put on the video camera so you could see. I have a total of 4 boxes. 3 of them I know have CGC books in them. One of them I kind of wrote 2 different things on it, so I'm not sure if there's 2 comics in there or I messed up whatever I wrote. So welcome everybody. I see Paul is here, Matt is here, Herbert is here, one of my moderators, Jerry, is here. Even if you're not a subscriber, join the live chat, because if you participate in the live chat, by the end of the video, I will pick 1, if not 2, of the what I call surprise subscriber shoutouts. If you're one of the people that gets picked, you can either put your link to your YouTube channel if you have them, if you make videos, for example, or if you have a social network you'd rather promote. Or if you sell on eBay and you want to put one of the links to your auctions, you can do that. So I'll let you pick which one. Just keep in mind I do have to approve it first, so it will not show up right away. Alright, so let's start with the boxes. I know what's in here, and for some reason some people think because I made that deal with PGX that I hate CGC or something. I use CGC as much as anybody. As a matter of fact, my original channel, I sent in several books to CGC, so I have no problem with them at all. It's just when people basically give a company a pass no matter what they do, and then they have another company automatically they talk nothing but negative things about regardless of what they do. To me, that doesn't make sense if you're somebody that's trying to find helpful information. Now, you know, there are people who love a certain company, and there are people that will hate that certain company. It always goes based on your own personal experience. So one of the things I highly recommend is base things on your own personal experience. I mean, it's good to hear from other people, but, I mean, if you're going to base things solely on somebody that may be biased towards a company or another, you're not really getting the truthful information. So I have a video, if you go to my playlists, I made it about 2 years ago at this point, where I did an honest review about PGX, CBCS, and CGC, and the pluses and minuses of each one of those companies. So hopefully you'll check that out. So, did they give this a bag? Yes, okay, they put it on the outside, so I'm going to leave that there. Alright, this is a spec book. I bought this months ago. There's rumors, and with the way that Hollywood is going these days, I would not be shocked if this character gets introduced. And the time to get a book when it comes to speculation is not when there's an announcement, unless you can get something right away cheap, or when there's a trailer. It's beforehand if you think it's worth taking the chance on, because that's when you're going to spend the least amount of money on this. Now, this book, when I was a kid, I remember when this came out, this was an extremely popular comic because it was never done before, as far as I know. And it was a big deal at the time, and this book shot up. Now, of course, it's going down since then, but considering some of the rumors, you never know. So it's worth taking the chance on, especially the price I paid, which, of course, I'll always mention the price, including shipping, because that is a factor in how much you pay. So the first one, this is Alpha Flight number 106. This is the first print. Second print will have Alpha Flight in blue. So this was a CGC 9.6 with white pages, and if you don't know about this, this is when North Star basically reveals that he's homosexual. And like I said, that back in the days was a big deal, and this book was like $80 overnight. And when you're talking, you know, 1990s money, because this is 1992 this came out, you know, that's a big deal. That's probably like about $250 today, and that's like right after it came out. So there have been rumors going around that Alpha Flight will be coming to the MCU. I always tell people when it comes to rumors, you never know. It may be true, it may not be true. It may be true, but it doesn't happen. It may be true, but it doesn't, you know, end up being popular. So risks are always involved. But if Alpha Flight shows up in the MCU, and like I said, considering the world we're living in today where there's all this inclusion and diversity and stuff, it would not shock me that they would have this character in there. And if that's the case, that book is going to shoot up pretty darn quick. So I only paid, with shipping and handling, $72 for that book. So I thought it was worth taking the chance on. And if it ends up happening, that'll probably be $300-400 book before it's all said and done. But we'll see. If it doesn't happen, hey, I spent $70, $72 to be exact. So it's not going to bankrupt me. So it's worth taking the chance on. Obviously, you make up your own mind on what you think is good for you. And I want to thank the 7 people so far that have hit the like button. I always appreciate those that are kind enough to take that effort and show that they appreciate my channel. If you're one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers, make sure you have that heard in the comments section. And if you don't know what that is, basically a power viewer is somebody that watches a video from beginning to end. And a power viewer, an ultra power viewer, is somebody that watches every one they click on from beginning to end. All right, this is another spec book that I've been talking about for a while. All right, they paid a lot less than I did, but I still got a good deal on it. I'm definitely not going to complain. But it might be worth taking the chance on, considering the rumors of where Marvel's going in the next few phases down the line. This is Secret Wars. This is issue number 1. 9.6. This is the commemorative edition. So they don't consider this a second print, because first print is all black. Sorry about the glare. But this is definitely a good book to have. Okay, it does have a pinup of Gabrielle Delgado with foreword by Brian Michael Bendis. So if you buy this book raw, make sure it does have the pinup. So this book with shipping and handling, it's also the first appearance, and they don't write this down. Sometimes grading companies will do that if it's a character that nobody cared about or it's an insignificant one. They tend to not mention it. But this is the first appearance of Lucia von Bardas, which is basically a female version of Doctor Doom. So again, with everything turning female these days, could that be possible? Hey, you never know. Now, it says on here they paid $24.99. I definitely paid more than that because I'm sure they bought this a long time ago. But I paid with shipping and handling $90.85. So, again, it's worth taking the chance on because we know that Secret Wars is going to happen. Now, obviously, they haven't confirmed it yet, but there have been so many rumors and hints about it. It's just ridiculous that it wouldn't happen eventually. So, any Secret Wars books might be books to consider at this point. So, under $100 for a 9.6. We'll see what happens. Like I said, it's the commemorative edition. So, will that be more popular than the first print? Is it rarer? Hard to say, but people will determine that, and that's always how it's been. Alright, so next up. Alright, and guys, make sure you're leaving comments in the live chat, because if you want to be picked for the surprise subscriber shout out, you do have to be in the live chat. So like I said, you don't even have to be a subscriber, so hopefully I'll earn your subscription, but that's not mandatory for it, because honestly, I'm not going to check anyway, so it's not the end of the world if somebody is not a subscriber to my channel. Alright, so that came out of this bag. There's all those packing peanuts. And these are books I've had, again, like I've seen in those other videos I've done. I've had these in the boxes for months. I got this one back in June of 2020. So, in my typical fashion, unless something is mega key, I usually just leave it in the box until I'm ready to do it. Because I always thought, in theory, if I ran out of money, which has happened from time to time. You know, I'm no Bill Gates, unfortunately. Well, at least money-wise. The rest of Bill Gates I would never want to be. But I always figured if I ran out of money and couldn't buy anything for a while, I could make videos. Alright, so this is another spec book. So a lot of these are spec books. Worth taking the chance on, in my opinion. Especially if you can get it cheap. This goes with one of the books I've already shown. This is X-Men number 120. It's graded a CGC 6.5 with white pages. This is the first cameo appearance of Alpha Flight. So I have a feeling that, especially, you know, you're talking with Wolverine because he is Canadian, it might be an interesting way to introduce them. Now, whether they use them as an Easter egg or just a one-shot appearance or they become something popular, I guess that depends on what actors and actresses play the parts and, you know, the writers that write them in and what they plan to do with them. But you never know, and like I said, when you're speculating, you want to buy the books before the hype. I mean, look at books, like if you saw some of my videos I made back in 2017, 2018, I was telling people to get Giant Size X-Men number 1, Hulk 180 and 181, Fantastic Four number 48 and 49. And those books have quadrupled since then. Ultimate Fallout 4, Edge of Spider-Verse 2 have shot to the moon, considering what you could have gotten them back for then. So the idea is, don't buy the books when they're extremely hot, because you're going to overpay, because everybody wants them, because most people do not go based on buy low, sell high. They base it on, oh, I want something because somebody else wants it. So most people could care less about this book right now, but I guarantee you the day if, and I'm saying if, the day if they say that Alpha Flight is going to be in the MCU, that very day, that book will double, triple in price, and all of a sudden, everybody will want it. So the idea is you want to be a smart investor, but just keep in mind, if it doesn't happen, sometimes you just take the loss. I mean, it's like gambling. If you play the slot machine, you're going to lose more than you'll win. But if you win that one time and you hit the jackpot, it makes all the others irrelevant. So you do what makes you happy, and you will always be successful. If you're one of those people always afraid to do stuff, you're never going to do anything, and all you'll do is just watch everybody else enjoy life while yours goes passing by. Don't do that to yourself. All right, so again, this is the cameo appearance of Alpha Flight. 121 is the more desirable one because they show Alpha Flight on the cover, and that's their first full appearance. But I always tell people, if you're not sure, get both. This way you're covered either way, because sometimes there are exceptions to the rules. I mean, look at the first appearance of Darkseid. You know, the first cameo appearance is worth more than the first full appearance. So there are exceptions. So I always say, if you're not sure, get both, and it always depends on the price you pay. So speaking of price, including shipping and handling, I paid a total of $70 for it. So for me, that was a no-brainer, especially already graded as I dropped them all. There we go. I'll put them to the side. And then last one, I wrote a couple of things on here, so I'm not sure if I wrote it in on the wrong box or there's more than one comic, but I guess we'll find out. So we got the likes up to 12, so thank you. Out of the 27, a little bit less than half of you have been kind enough to hit the like button, so thank you. Alright, so I think there are 2 books, so there is a graded CGC book in here, and a regular book. So I must have bought this from a seller and bought 2 separate auctions, and they just put it in the same package. That's fine with me, I don't care. As long as they arrive safe and they're what they claim they are, then I'm fine with that. Alright. Okay, so the first, I'll show you the ungraded one. That's why I was confused. And they put it in a top loader, but they did not put it in a bag and board. So that's kind of bad. But the comic looks good. Alright, so this is Spider-Gwen number 1, just the regular first print, but it is signed. It has a certificate of authenticity, so it was signed by Jason Latour. So there's the signature right there. I paid a grand total of $37.50 for the book. It does have a bend right here, but it does not break color. You know, this is why you should never put a raw book in a top loader. Especially one, look how much space is in between. Between my finger, right there, that's how much space. So it probably slid around during delivery, because I keep it in one spot once I have the box. But that could be pressed. But even still, for the price I paid for this book, definitely worth it. So the corner has to be fixed. But that's a beautiful thing if you get your books graded, because then you can get those things out as long as they don't break color. But even if they do break color, you could still fix the crease a little bit, and that may bump it up a little bit. Last one. This is CGC Batman number 97 at a 9.8. So as you can see, I bought this a while ago. I don't think there's any significance of this book. I paid a total of 75 bucks for it. So it ended up being, this is this the regular? Let me see. Yeah, I think this is just regular cover, or it could be a variant. I'm not sure. It's been such a long time. Yeah, it's a variant cover. Okay. So luckily they did place that. All right, so those are the books. And if you've been waiting, now I will show you. That wasn't the strange thing. So stick around, and then I will be picking the surprise subscriber shout-outs. And if you want one, all you have to do is be in the live chat. But like I said, you do not have to be a subscriber. So this particular part right here, it will be brought to you by Southside Comics. And let's put on the video camera. Actually, no, the window capture is what you need. Excuse me. And it's freezing up. Give me a second. Okay. All right, so we got the window capture. So, as of now, it is on sale, because they said it started at noon, so it's 12:25 right now. Strange Academy number 9, which is Torrin Clark's variant from Unknown Comics. From what Dan at Southside told me, every issue of this series has spec possibility. So it might be worth taking the chance on. This cover A, this variant is $14.99. And then you have the Virgin variant right here. And that one was $29.99. Now, they didn't put the print run. Shame on you, Dan, for forgetting to do that lately. But the way it usually is cover A tends to have 3,000 prints. And then the cover B tends to be 1,500. Sometimes 1,000. But I would assume it's 1,500. And I don't know, they didn't list if it has the bundle, but they've had those in the past, so you could just check that on the website. So it is on sale as of now. So if you're interested in that book, you can go right here, and you can use these discount codes. If you use the code WeLoveComics10, if it's your first time ever ordering from them, you'll get 10% off your order. If you've already used it, just use the code WeLoveComics, and then you'll get 5% off of your order, no matter how many times you use it. Now, there is no minimum order, but what I always tell people is if you spend $50 or more, you get free shipping. So for me, I think it's totally worth it. So let's pick today's surprise subscriber shout-outs. And thank you to the 17 people that were kind enough to hit the like button. Let me know in the comments section what you thought about the books I showed, and if you think they're worth getting, or even if you have them. So we're going to go with Dustin H. You are today's surprise subscriber shout-out. And we're going to go with Trade Paper Dad. You are also today's surprise subscriber shout-out. So if you're not familiar with what that means, if you have a YouTube channel, because you are selected, you can post in the comment section the link to a video or to your channel. I do have to approve it first, so if you post it, it won't show up right away. So there wasn't a problem. I just got to make sure it's not anything inappropriate for our viewers to watch. If you don't have a YouTube channel, if you want to promote one of your social networks like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything like that, you could post that instead. Or if you sell stuff on eBay, you can put in a link to one of your auctions, and hopefully people will check it out. So if you're one of the people that likes to leave comments and read people's comments, and I hope you do, people appreciate when you thumb up somebody's comment. If you see a link in the comment section, it means it was approved, so it is appropriate for all viewers. So if you see that link of one of these surprise subscriber shout-outs, go check them out. Give them a like, give them a subscribe, or maybe check out their auction. There might be something that you might be thinking is worth buying. So congratulations to our surprise subscriber shout-outs. Thank you so much to the people that were kind enough to be in the live chat and watching this video, and especially to the 19 people that were kind enough to hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about these. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to check out that cashback program, because trust me, if you haven't signed up for it, it is free to do. There's many people that have utilized it, and $20 is $20. So if you spend $20 within the first 90 days of any of their affiliated sponsors, it doesn't have to be comics. It could be anything that any company they're affiliated with, and they have a whole list of like hundreds of them. If you spend the $20, you get $20 cash back. And again, if you've signed up for the $40 cash back a couple of months ago, you have up until 90 days after you signed up to spend the $40, so you'll get that $40 cash back. So, take advantage of it, because especially with gas prices going up, every little bit helps. So, once again, thank you so much for everybody participating. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and say it with me. It is not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you next video. Alright, I'm going to do a little Easter egg for some of my Ultra Power viewers and Power viewers out there. This was a book that I wasn't going to do until a separate video, because it's definitely a spec book that I think is worth taking the chance on. So, unless you're watching until the end, you'll probably miss out on this. I might have to do a separate video for another version, because I have other copies that I'm getting. But this is a CGC graded version of this book. So this is a spec book. So this is my way of saying thank you to those who stay until the end and don't just leave right away. This is definitely a book. It's not cheap, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, this is not a $2,000 book or anything, but it could become that. And I ended up getting a couple of copies, and they did a great job. They put about 60 feet of bubble wrap on this, so good job with that. And then they put another layer going in another way. Now, this is a prime case of why you shouldn't just send books to one particular company regardless of what's on the book. Because again, I took advantage of the fact that somebody sent this to the wrong company to get graded, and probably he sold it for at least half of what other books have been selling for. So I find it funny when people do this. So here is the back of the book, and you can see it has a green label. But this book is highly recommended. So if you're here and you stayed and you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button, because this is something many people may miss out on because they did not stay until the end. But this is a book I highly recommend getting. If you can't get it graded, get it raw. So this is a 9.8 green label because there is a signature on this book. Now, if you know anything about CGC, they do not do signature verification. They only do signature witness, which means if a book is already signed and you send it to CGC, they will give it a green qualified label, and they will write writing on the cover or whatever, if it's inside the book or whatever. So they will not confirm it if they have not seen it. So this book should have been sent to either CBCS or PGX. Now, since I work the deal with PGX, this will be a book I will be sending in to get regraded. And since it's already a CGC 9.8, chances are that's what it's going to come back as. So, this is the book I highly recommend getting. This is Champions #1. This is the 1 in 100 Alex Ross variant. So this is the first appearance of the Champions. There have been rumors that the Champions will be in the MCU. Now, nothing is guaranteed. They can change their minds. It could be horrible. It could end up not happening. But if it does, this already is a hot book. It's going to get even hotter. So you have Kamala Khan in here. You have Miles Morales. You have the younger versions of characters that people like right now. But this was signed by Mark Waid. So I know his signature. I've seen it before. This book, unsigned at a 9.8, if you look on eBay, is selling for over $1,000. I didn't pay $1,000. This person had it listed at $715.20 because it was $15.20 for shipping and handling, but they had a best offer. So when I see best offer, that says, unless it's something that's so low, below value, you got to pick it up right away. I knew I could take the chance on this. We went back and forth, and we finalized at $515.20. So it was $500 plus the $15 shipping and handling for a 9.8 signed 1 in 100 Champions #1. If the Champions end up in the MCU like they're saying it will be, this book will easily go to $2,000 to $3,000 in my opinion. Because like I said, right now you can get a 9.8 of this book. Look on eBay, they're selling for over $1,000. So because somebody decided to send a signed book to CGC that was already signed, it got a green label, which makes a lot of people very cautious about a book, and it will not sell for its top price. So one of the biggest things you hear from people is they say that CGC always sells the best. That depends on the situation. In this situation, I paid about half of what people are paying for an unsigned version of this book because of that green label. So if you go by what the majority of people just regurgitate when they hear from somebody else, when they heard from somebody else about what somebody else said or did, you are never going to benefit from being able to do things through your own research because you follow everybody else. So yes, is CGC #1? It absolutely is. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. Can most of the time, can you make more money with a CGC book? Well, it depends on the book. I've sold PGX books that are extremely valuable for the same price, if not more, than what a CGC book was worth at the time. So that whole illusion of a PGX book, for example, cannot sell as high as a CGC. It depends on the book, and it depends on the grade. It depends on the desirability. I guarantee you, if you try and find a giant size X-Men #1 right now, you're probably going to pay the same price regardless. You might get a little bit more for it with CGC, but it depends on how hot the book is and how bad somebody wants it. So it is a myth when people say, like, other companies will always sell less. This book, I paid about half of what the current value is unsigned because they sent it to the wrong company for the situation at hand. So this is why I do live shows, so I don't edit anything, I don't try to play tricks with cameras, and I don't make assumptions. I just show you what is. You can formulate your opinion better by seeing, instead of just regurgitating what somebody else said, because it's the more popular thing to say. Like I've said thousands of times, for hundreds if not thousands of years, the masses of people thought the world was flat. So if you want to follow what the masses all regurgitate, you know, you have that right to do it, but they're not always right. So think for yourself, do your own research, and go with what works best. Sending an already signed book to CGC will not get you the most money. I guarantee you that even if there isn't a movie, and I sent this in to PGX to get graded, and it came back a 9.8 with verified signature, I guarantee you I would be able to sell that book for more than what I paid for it. So you could believe whatever you want. Unfortunately, I'll get a few of the thumbs down from people who, for whatever reason, don't like the fact that I have a difference of opinion, instead of appreciating that that's what everybody should have, their own opinion. What yours is up to you. So 22 people were kind enough to hit the like button. That means 2 people for this extra bonus material appreciated my advice, and I thank you for that. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next video. Enjoy your rest of your day, everybody.